Hi folks, Tim Moore here. You know, one of the most common questions that I am asked at seminars and trade shows and even during guide trips on the water is, what is my favorite line? Do I prefer braid? Do I prefer fluorocarbon? Do I prefer monofilament? And the answer is always, it depends. It's not really an easy question to answer because I tailor my lines pretty specifically to the type of fishing that I'm doing, the species that I'm targeting, the water clarity, lots of things. For the most part, most of my rods you're going to find 30-pound braided line. The reason I fish 30-pound braided line for most of my rods is I can fish for striped bass, flounder, fluke, sea bass, lake trout, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass. I can get away with fishing for all of those species with 30-pound braid. It's still very castable. This Daiwa J-Braid X8 Grand is very, very soft, extremely castable and abrasion resistant. And the advantage of running braid is I can tie on a fluorocarbon leader, but I can tailor my leader to the species that I'm targeting. So if I'm targeting big striped bass, I can run 30 or 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. If I'm targeting winter flounder or crappie or even lake trout on Lake Winnipesaukee, I can run an 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader. If I'm trolling, I typically run 4 to 6-pound fluorocarbon leaders. So it allows me a lot of versatility, so I can change out the fluorocarbon leaders. The braid offers extreme sensitivity, really good hook setting power, so it makes it a winner in really deep water vertical jigging. Braid is the only thing that I will use when I'm fishing in very deep water for lake trout or whatever. In the fall, when I switch over to fishing for maybe black crappie, crappie are also called paper mouths, and you can very easily rip the lures right out of their mouth after they bite, and they'll bite pretty well in the fall. So if I'm running a braided line, especially with a fast action rod, I'm going to have a tendency to miss a lot of fish, and I'm not really missing them, I'm actually ripping the hook right out of their mouth. So in the fall, I'll switch over to a monofilament line because monofilament has some stretch to it. That stretch gives me some shock absorption so I don't rip the hooks clean out of their mouths, and then I can get an idea for what kind of a fish or how big of a fish I have on there. So the short answer is most of the time it's braid to fluorocarbon leader. Another advantage of fluorocarbon is the refractive index is almost the exact same as water, meaning it doesn't bend light in water like monofilament does when the sunlight hits it. So it becomes almost invisible to fish. So very good in crystal clear water, and the fact that it has, you know, such a wide range of pound tests in smaller spools. These are 100-yard spools, but you can buy them in small. I've seen them as small as 25-yard spools. That allows you to not buy 10 years worth of fluorocarbon that's probably going to go bad in a couple of years. For more information on fishing lines, check out my latest blog at oldtowncanoe.com.